That is right. Welcome into another episode of the UMass Sports Insider, coming at you from the Mullen Center here in Amherst. I'm Jay Burnham, voice of the Minutemen, alongside my broadcast partner Nathan Strauss, and we've got a lot to get to on this show. UMass men's basketball is off to one of their best starts in a decade, and we check in on their trip to the Diamond Head Classic down in Honolulu. We'll also have coffee with a coach, presented by Duncan with head coach Frank Martin, and we will take to the pitch wonderful things being done by both the men's and women's soccer programs. But Nathan, let's start at the top here with number 13 ranked UMass men's ice hockey. And away from their schedule here, they've had a couple of guys representing them at the World Junior Championships.
It's so important. I mean, for people who don't know, World Juniors it's like the World Cup of the hockey world. With no best-on-best competition at the senior level, it's so important for these players, for the program, and for their countries that they get the chance to represent their nations. And a big congratulations to Don Slushmilis, the captain of Team Latvia, and UMass goalie Michael Hrabal, who took home the bronze with Team Czechia. Michael Hrabal becoming the 7th Minuteman to return from World Juniors with a medal, joining the likes of Cale Makar and Philip Lindbergh. Just so important for those guys, for their countries, and a huge congratulations to them as they returned home from Sweden after that effort.
Becoming a theme for this program with those guys representing UMass on the national stage. Meanwhile, having to get by without those two guys, this team playing up at Lake Placid for the Adirondack Invitational, a couple of tough losses. Playing close games has been a theme for this team.
Yeah, they've been able to stick in every single game this year. In fact, they were on a streak of 2 months without a regulation loss. That means at the very least they were getting games to overtime, and they were able to pick up a big win as well this last week over Merrimack at home. A great goal by Ryan Ufko sealed the deal. But they were able to play in that Adirondack Invitational up in the shadow of Herb Brooks Arena, where, of course, Team USA won gold in 1980, the famous miracle speech. Jay, I don't know about you, but I could probably do about half of that speech from memory.
You're probably more so than me, but yeah, it's great setting for the Minutemen, and they won't be home again until February 3rd on the ice here at the Mullen Center. Meanwhile, you've got UMass women's basketball, the first conference win for this team, a convincing one against a good Dayton team.
Yeah, they took down a Dayton team that ran the conference really for a couple of years, about 5 years ago. And it was a huge win at home. They were able to lead from start to finish. And it just meant so much to Coach Mike Leffler and the entire team, who had to battle injuries and a really tough schedule in the first part of the season. A huge game from Kristen Williams, who's been tremendous from three. And just a big momentum builder for this UMass team going into the conference stretch here, with plenty of home games coming up for them as well.
Yeah, Williams had 15, really lethal from three-point range. Meanwhile, as we talked about with the men going down to Honolulu through Christmas, they've started the A10 slate on the hard court, and a couple of big wins, double-digit wins for head coach Frank Martin's crew. Really exciting to watch this team play.
They've got one of the top scoring offenses, not just in the conference, but in the country. They're still averaging almost 80 points per game right now, Jay. I mean, they are firing on all cylinders, and they can do it in so many different ways. And we saw a big home win against LaSalle last week that really cemented that, where they were playing really lights out from start to finish. And again, the conference stretch, there's no easy games, but they've really put the league on notice, I think, with how they've started off conference play this year.
They play tough. We're going to talk about that with head coach Frank Martin down the line. Both the men and women are at the Mullen Center this upcoming weekend, so hope to see everybody here. But one note on the Diamond Head Classic, Josh Cohen, back-to-back 28-point performances. He also has put the league on notice.
Yeah, I think someone said if he could play every game in Hawaii, he'd average 40 points per game. But everyone knew what kind of scorer Josh Cohen was when he came here. Last year, he put up 22 and 8. In the NEC, and his numbers are just as good, if not better, this year playing at the mid-major level. And I mean, look, you could be halfway through a game, you might not have noticed him all that much. You'll look up at the board, and he's got 18 and 10 at halftime. I mean, it is incredible. He's added that three-point stroke to his game as well, and he is one of the conference's best big men right now.
We're going to take a look at the trip to Hawaii for the men's basketball program, but first, let's dive into what's coming up for UMass athletics.
Elevate how you hydrate and keep it smart with Smart Water Alkaline.
At Bay State Health, we are compelled to be a force for good. That compassionate, spirited, and steadfast drive has helped us be the difference for you and so many others within our diverse human family. Every day, in ways big and small, we are humbled and privileged that our impactful care helps you go on to make all the difference in your own world. Together, we have the capacity to transform lives. Bay State Health, advancing care, enhancing lives.
The reviews are in. The Mass Lottery's first $50 instant game is the must-have scratch ticket of the year.
How do you like them apples?
Players agree. It's the best payout yet.
Show me the money! Woo!
Lottery Quarterly raves a grand prize like we've never seen. Massachusetts makes history again. $1 billion extravaganza. Now playing at a lottery retailer near you.
You can have live college sports in your hand this year with the brand new Varsity Network app. Hear live, play-by-play, and keep up with your favorite teams and audio broadcasts no matter where you are with this free new app. Be sure to download the Varsity Network app today. This March, you can listen to exclusive Westwood One coverage of the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments for free on the Varsity app. Powered by Learfield. Listen to every game at a truly unique listening experience. It's all free. Search NCAA Championships.
And a big warm welcome. Nathan Strauss here with UMass Men's Soccer's Alec Hughes. First and foremost, thanks so much for taking the time. How's it been since the season ended?
Pretty good. I mean, not really much going on, just like working on school at the moment. So other than that, nothing really.
Before we get into the soccer, you're an electrical engineering major. How? Why?
How? I don't know. Why? I kind of just did it because like I have family members that do it. So that's pretty much why I chose it.
Well, people might know you for your work in the classroom, but I think they're pretty familiar at this point with your work on the pitch. You're the back-to-back A10 Player of the Year, 15 goals this season. What was it like this year leading this UMass team up front?
It was very special because I think we had like a very good team, and obviously like I feel like in terms of like our goals, I feel like we accomplished a lot of goals, like going to the A10 tournament this year and winning a game. So I think it was very special in terms of like that aspect and our team success.
What's it like playing under Fran O'Leary? We see him around campus all the time. He's always got a mug of tea and a smile on his face. What's he like as a coach?
I mean, I think he's a very good coach. He's very logical of the game, knows what it takes for like a team like us to win. So I have a lot of respect for him in terms of like soccer, and in terms of just like personality, he's got a great personality. Like he's always like a great talker to talk to like anything about like anything really.
When you see that, you're consistently at the top of the A10 scoring charts and, you're turning out double-figure goals and winning these awards, what does that mean for you personally?
It means a lot because I feel like it just means like, like the work I've put into soccer my whole life has like paid off. And I feel like in terms of like my individual success, it helps the team success a lot because in order for us to win games, like we got to get goals. So I think just like in terms of like just helping the team win games, it means a lot.
The last couple of years, UMass soccer has seen a couple of players leave and play professionally. You've got Yosuke Hanya, who was a tremendous player here and made his MLS debut and re-signed with Colorado. And you've also got Marvin Dorchin, who played in the USL this year with Hartford Athletic. How do having players like that who are at that level help you improve as well?
I think it helps me improve because you see like their work ethic, like how they want to become professionals and kind of just like their attitude on and off the pitch and like what they do to like prepare themselves before a game like mentally. So I think just seeing like what they do, I try to kind of take into account like what they do and try to like use it for myself.
15 goals this year. Do you have a favorite?
Probably, I would say the Davidson goal, which ended up being the winner, just because like that game was needed to win to make it like secure A10 playoffs. So I think that goal, and then because it ended up resulting in like kind of like a pig pile in the corner. So I think that goal for sure.
Well, you've banged in the goals here, and we're certainly looking forward to seeing you do that at your next stop. Congratulations, two-time A10 Player of the Year, Alec Hughes. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
We're the team behind your team and your school. We're also the team our customers rely on. Wherever things are getting done, powered up, and made better with Caterpillar equipment in the Northeast, you'll find Milton Cat, the team prepared for every challenge. Milton Cat, always ready.
We know you're busier than ever before, caring for your children, your parents, or a loved one. And don't forget about yourself. You deserve a health plan that guides you along the way and helps you make the decisions that matter most. Health New England has options designed to meet the needs of everyone in your life. We'll be here for you every step of the way. Get a health plan that grows with you. Health New England, where you matter.
At Mass General Brigham Sports Medicine, you'll find sports medicine care driven by research and determination. Top specialists who understand your athletic dreams, goals, and the need to get back to them. Together, we'll write your comeback story. Start your comeback story today.
Welcome back to the UMass Sports Insider. We mentioned at the top that men's ice hockey had a pair of players representing the Minutemen on the international stage. Well, they're not the only program here in Amherst to have such reach, as the women's soccer team with both Bella Racinos and Carolina Benitez representing the Minute Women for the Soccer Gold Cup qualifiers.
the coach wanted me for the senior team for a while, but I just kept delaying it, honestly, because I wanted a chance at the US team. But once you get that final call up, you can't have that anymore.
So I initially got my first call up in like early October, but I had to decline that because of college stuff. So then when the November games came up, he called me in like mid-November, so that's when I found out.
The first couple days are pretty rough, honestly, just because the travel, and I mean, from Hartford to San Salvador is about like 4.5 hours, so it's pretty rough. And then right when you get there, you're expected to train at least twice that day, or like if not like anything, but he expects you to train.
When you go in and play with a different coach, especially when it's a whole different system, like you're expected different roles, different tactics, different style of play. So it's like definitely an adjustment, but they know how to like put you in the right place for you to like thrive in that environment.
It's an unbelievable experience for them. We know that. It's always fun when we get to call them while they're at camp and hear how things are going. And it just gives us such as a coaching staff and as a program, such a sense of pride that we have players that are capable of doing that, for one thing. But they also are representing UMass. Whenever we see pro players on TV and they call out that UMass name, it really helps us just acknowledge how strong this academic and athletic program is. And Bella and Carol are doing that for our women's soccer program, and it's just an unbelievable sense of pride that we have about them and for them.
I think when you step on the field with your national team overall, it's just a completely different feeling. I mean, I was really nervous and everything, but I mean, there's so much passion in the air and stuff, so it's just a completely different feeling. And you feel like they're your family now, so I mean, it was an amazing experience.
You're feeling like a lot of like emotions, and like it's nerve-wracking. You want to keep focus, and like when the national anthem's playing, like everyone's like together as a family, and it helps you get through the nerves because you know you have a good support system.
For Carolina and Bella, the honor of representing El Salvador goes beyond their current generation.
It means a lot to my family. I mean, my grandpa, he played for the national team as well in El Salvador, so I think him seeing me take on that, like, and I don't know, I feel like closer to him when I do play and put that national jersey on. So I mean, it's an incredible feeling. Playing for a national team in general, you just get like a sense of pride and everything, and every time you step on the field, it's just a completely different feeling that I've never got to experience personally.
It means a lot to play for a country. Like on my dad's side, like they grew up like having to work a lot, and like they would play soccer in their free time in the streets, and like to be able to like play for that country and to have like my dad and his family see that me representing their country, playing soccer, the game that everyone grows up playing over there, it means a lot because I get to do it for them and I get to do it for myself as well. But it's just a different feeling, like representing your origins and your roots.
It's an unbelievable experience for me as their coach too, to get to witness that incredible excitement that they have. And I just wish them all the best in all of their opportunities that they're going to continue to certainly get.
Back with you one final time on the UMass Sports Insider. It's now time for our Coffee with a Coach presented by Dunkin'. We've got head coach Frank Martin. And Coach, you're halfway through the season as we record this. You've had a young team this year. Have you been pleased with the development of some of the younger guys on the court this season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you have so many first-year guys, and you're in a pretty good spot from a record standpoint. In the middle of January, you have to be optimistic because there's so much unknown going into a season when you got so many first-year players. But with that said, we've got to play a lot better than what we have over the last 10 days. We have to figure out a way to continue to grow. Conference play either makes you or breaks you. There's no in between, and we're in a good spot. We got some fighters, but we have to take on the challenge to grow right now.
You've seen a lot more of Jalen Curry and starting to get an idea of what he can actually do on the court. How have him specifically? Where is he in terms of his development, and have you been pleased with his performance?
Yeah, I mean it's he's a freshman, and he went through some of the stuff Keon went through last year when he first got here. The difference is Jalen's always played the point, where Keon was trying to learn to play the point. Keon's everyday approach has helped Jalen grow. Jalen's competitiveness has made Keon a better player. They complement each other tremendously in practice, and because of that, they both are playing better basketball right now. Jalen's starting to understand college basketball. There's a big difference. In high school, you get to hold the ball and you get to pass it whenever you're in the mood, and in the way most people play today's day and age, where it's just give your point guard the ball and everyone stand around and just ball screen for him, well, that's not how we play. And so he's grown, and there's some give and take there as a coach as in a player. The player adjusts to what the coach is asking, and the coach actually designs some structure to fit the player's talent a little better. And we've both grown there.
We've talked a lot, you and I, about paint touches. You got guys like Matt Cross and Josh Cohen. Kind of unknown what the success would be of Cohen coming from a different conference. And here he is. He's had 8 games through the first 16 of 20 points or more. What's been the key to his success?
Well, he's comfortable. He knows how to play in there. I think where we've done a halfway decent job is we've created a structure that makes it really hard to help in there. And then our players have done a great job of finding him. And he's learning how to play in different structure and learning. I learned this from my high school coach years ago. You don't run plays for your good player all the time. Your good player plays with the energy, and that ball finds him. And Josh is learning that, and we'll continue to get better there. He will, and so will us as a team, players and coaches.
I look at some of the losses that your team has had this year, and a lot of close ones at that. But one of the common themes is you've played tough pretty much in every game that you've had. Is this team kind of developing that identity of toughness that you preach on a daily basis?
Yeah, I don't have to waste time in practice doing toughness drills. We don't have to waste time challenging guys in practice. They've bought into that. They compete. They play as hard as they can, and that's something that as a coach I appreciate tremendously. Now we've got to start playing a little better. We've defensively we're playing really hard, taking too many chances. We got to learn how to play a little bit more discipline.
One guy I think that's become a fan favorite since you brought him on board last year is Matt Cross, and he continues to give up his body, sacrifices everything on the court. Give us just some synopsis as to where does he fit in terms of players that you've coached? I mean, in terms of toughness and just that selflessness that he has.
Yeah, it's every time I've had a good team, which I don't like speaking arrogantly, but it's been pretty much a majority of my college career. I've had a guy like Matt Cross on the team, a guy that just impacts the game with his force, his aggression, his toughness, his mind, his skill, all those things combined, and that's what he does. And Matt has grown into that, and our team feeds off of him. And that's what leadership's all about. Some guys lead with a lot of yelling and all that stuff, and some guys lead with how they go about their business, and that's how Matt does it.
Are you enjoying this team?
Oh, they're great to be around. It's nobody enjoys conference play. Conference play beats you down. But the fact that we go into practice with these guys on a regular basis picks your spirits up and gets you ready to go.
It feels like every game in conference is a knockout, drag down fight. And a lot of the league this year has just been topsy-turvy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a couple teams that I think are undefeated right now, 4 games into league play, which that means there's still 14 more to go. So, but the league really has no bottom. That's the one thing I've realized watching the league right now. It's got no bottom. Everyone can beat anybody on any given day, and the coaches in the league are really good. The players are good, and it's going to be really hard for everybody to get to the finish line this year.
Coach, good luck the rest of the way. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the UMass Sports Insider. Big thanks to all of our guests for joining us and to you for being a part of this over the last 30 minutes. We hope to see you at an upcoming event at the Mullen Center. Until next time from Amherst, my name's Jay Burnham saying so long, everybody.